keep clear of the moors. Beware the moon. An American Werewolf in London, ultimate Kessler wolf. Hello everybody, Toys of Arkham here with another review, and this is the Neca Toys Kessler wolf from obviously American Werewolf in London. It's a figure I've been waiting on for quite a while. Very excited about this. Absolutely love the movie. For those of you who don't know about this movie, it's probably one of the most iconic werewolf movies ever made, and one of the most iconic werewolf designs, and that is from the great special effects artist Rick Baker. So first impressions here of the box is I love the artwork. I love the overall I suppose almost cartoon kind of vibe off it. It's really nice artwork. And there's the two boys on the moors tracking along, and there is of course the werewolf coming through the clouds in the sky and the full moon. So it's a good sized box. I took the figure out, obviously. Wouldn't want to be opening up to see that. And here's a cool picture of the figure itself. Wow. So I'm not going to spend too much time in the box, but it is an impressive box. There's the back of it. So, David and Jack, two American college students, are backpacking through Britain when a large wolf attacks them. David survives with a bite, but Jack is brutally killed. As David heals in the hospital, he's plagued by violent nightmares of his mutilated friend, who warns David that he is becoming a werewolf. When David discovers the horrible truth, he contemplates committing suicide before the next full moon causes him to transform from man to murderous beast. Yeah. And there is the murderous beast himself. Well, on the box anyway. So let's have a look at the actual figure. So here he is, the beast himself, the Kessler wolf. Now, I should say, this is a big figure. He's big. Now, bear in mind, the scale he's 1/12 scale, I think, to fit in with either 6 or 7 inch figures. What's really cool as well, he comes in this like a backdrop of a alleyway, which I have an actual diorama alleyway here, and so for those of you who don't have something like this, it's really nice to have a backdrop included in the box that you can use for figure photography. So let's focus on the figure, if we can focus. Will the camera focus? Yes. So this sculpt, I think you'll agree, is amazing. The articulation on this is what you'd expect from a Neca figure, but actually what I found on this is that the joints aren't as stiff. My experience with Neca figures sometimes is that they can be a little bit too stiff, and to the point where I either can't bend them or I might break them. Now, a lot of people say, well, put it into a little tub of hot water, or maybe use a hair dryer. That's the sensible approach, but I tend not to have that sort of patience. I just wanted to do its thing out of the box. And this surprisingly does do that. It has lots of articulated points on it, from the paws, feet, kind of ankle, elbow, I suppose knees, back foot, all that. All is articulated. But it's beautiful. I love the way the fur kind of integrates very well into the body whilst not interfering with the articulation, and also giving a somewhat seamless look for figure photography. So needless to say, there are two head sculpts with this. So you have the real vicious looking, that snarling closed mouth. And then you have the aggressive open mouth. And the way it's painted there, you can even see this kind of glossy, wet look off it. Now, I've seen some people, namely Dean Knight again, I have to give him a shout out. Again, big inspiration on the channel. He bought two of these, one to mod by putting blood effect on him, a blood spatter through the fur and around the mouth, and one he just kept as it is here. I think that's a great idea, something I might do myself. If I don't, I'll just pick one of these sculpts to maybe bloody up a bit more. But this is bloodied up to an extent. Like if you look at his teeth, that is, I suppose, faintly kind of dried blood perhaps. But if you go onto Dean's channel, you can see the job he has done with the blood effect, and it really does make a big difference to this. I mean, this is a horror character. Obviously, this guy is gonna savage you up. So, yeah, the blood suits him. It's in line with his character. But as far as werewolves go, you can see he's on all fours. He's not on his hind legs like some other designs of werewolves, such as this fella here from Dog Soldiers. And that was made by Soda Toys. I do a review of this on my channel if you want to look it up. But of course you can, the reason I have him here at the moment is just to show you the difference between the styles of werewolves. And this guy is obviously more human-like in that he's going around on his two legs, whereas this guy is more dog-like, a bit more primitive or primal, or what's the word I'm looking for. He is more dog-like. And but yeah, ultimately this is Mr. Kessler in a werewolf form, so there is a man in there. If you just look at it from the top, he's a big werewolf, big design, beefy. You do not want to run into this guy in a dark alley. Doesn't have a long tail. I never really knew what he looked like before in full. I think in the movie you really only see the top half and the face. You don't really see the full body. But yeah, now that we have him in figure form, we can obviously see exactly how he was intended to be in that movie. So yeah, you can get plenty of poses out of him, I'm sure, if I was to really bend and pose him in different ways. But sorry, I'm a bit lazy. I'm just going to leave this guy as is. The other thing I should say is, which I was very impressed with, I've had Neca figures before where there are swappable heads, and they have been a nightmare to get off. They have been really difficult because they're real stiff joints again. This was really simple to do. So it's actually probably something I could do with one hand. It's that simple. Yep. Great. Everything's going to collapse. Exactly how I planned it. Now, this is a detachable piece of fur here, which obviously adds to the effect of a flow of hair or fur from the neck back onto the torso. So let's see if I can do this with one hand and not cause everything to collapse. Oh, there you go. So, see how aggressive this guy looks. He is not happy. That looks really good. That's the other thing that's the problem with this. Not that it's a problem, but it's a difficult decision between which head sculpt to put on him and pose him in. I mean, I think you'll agree that looks phenomenal. Really. You know, you could do it with a toothbrush, but other than that, Yeah, really cool. I think this figure is only about €50 or pounds. So, you know, if you can get them, get them. I think they're going to bring out other figures. I know they brought out that demon soldier guy, and must pick him up. But for now, very happy with this werewolf. Such an iconic character from an iconic movie. Must have in a collection, especially if you're a horror fan of some description or other, which I am. Yeah, I think that's all I can say about this guy. Doesn't come with anything else other than a head, another head. But he's a werewolf. He's not going to be really needing much more than a snarling, biting snout. So yeah, that completes the review, guys. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, if you want to make any requests for reviews of anything else in my collection, please let me know. I think my guy's a bit cross-eyed there, is he? No, he's alright like that, but anyway, yes, do put some suggestions down in the comment section. I've got a fair few figures here that I could review, and I have one classic Hot Toys figure coming in soon that I'm going to review next week. But if there's anything in the meantime, let me know. Otherwise, take care, guys. I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.